Hi, and welcome to the Herwoodian Crafter channel. I'm Jutta. I'm coming to you from Tampere, Finland, and this time I'm showing you some Christmas gift knitting that I'm doing. I'm hoping that I'm gonna put this video up around Christmas, so I hope you're either having a lovely Christmas time or that you had a very lovely Christmas. But yeah, I'm very late, but I think I almost only have like 3 people that I'm knitting for this time. So I'm going to be going the easy way and knitting up socks. This is the first one. I needed to start with my godson's gifts because I think I will be giving them around his birthday when I see them, which is in the beginning of December, and it's already the 25th of November, so I need to get a wheel on. It's the first sock. This is the vanilla latte sock pattern. I'm really unsure about whether I have a big enough sock because I think I'm a bad fairy godmother and I haven't seen him for a long time, so I really don't know how big he is. I don't know if this is wide enough. But I'm going to be doing, I want to do 2 pairs of socks, so I'm going to be doing these. And then I think the other pair that I'm going to be doing is going to be a little bit bigger or kind of wider. So if these are too small, then I'm hoping the next pair will be okay and I can reknit these later. So yeah, this is how far I've gotten. That's just the one sock because yeah, that's just how I did it this time. The foot needs to be about 18 or 19 centimeters long from heel to toe. So yeah, there's still a little bit to go, but other than that, this is the start. I'm going to be knitting very hard on these socks to to finish them on time. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so gift knitting update number 1. The first, I can't remember. I didn't check what I had said in the previous video clip. But the first round of gifts are for my godson, and they're for his birthday, which is tomorrow. And I got 2 pairs of socks done for him. These I showed you in the last video that I remember. I got them done, so vanilla latte socks. And then the other pair is knit out of, I think it's worsted weight yarn. It's very mustard yellow. No specific pattern. I just did some cables at the front. I'm really worried about these being too tight. I'm sure the length is good because I asked his mom to measure his foot and or socks, and these should be good lengthwise. I really feel hesitant about the width. It does stretch, and I haven't blocked these. But I'll just have to tell them that to try them on, and if they're too tiny, I'm gonna knit them again. I tried finding, I can't remember if I talked about this, but I did try to find some sort of stitch count from any free sock pattern for a kid his age, but many of the free sock patterns I looked at that said that they're fit for kids mainly meant that these could be adapted to kids, but they don't give any stitch count of those, so this is really just a guess. And yeah, I'll hope against hope that these are good. Yeah. Until we see you next time. Okay, so I need to be a little bit quiet because the kid is napping on the living room couch where you saw me last. And I hope this isn't too low volume for you, but it shouldn't be. So it's the 20th of December, and I think I'm screwed. I got the socks for my godson done. The other pair was, the grey pair was fine. The worsted weight pair was not, but at least he got one pair of socks. And then I've had another pair of socks done. Just this morning I was up until 2 p.m. 2 a.m. in the night knitting on these, playing a very tight game of yarn chicken, and I lost, but I resolved it by using another. Sorry, the picture's doing something weird. Hopefully it's gonna be okay. But yeah, basically what it came down to was this length of bind off to get done. So I just took another red yarn and used that. You can see it if you look for it, but at this point, who cares? The person who's getting these is a knitter too, so she will understand. And we'll see how far we get before the camera loses its head. Let's hope that restarting the computer helped. So yeah, came down to this length of bind off, used another yarn, but yeah, this is the pair that I knit. The ends are not woven in, as you can see, but I used my first hand-dyed self-striping yarn. I'm quite happy with how it went, only that if you look very carefully, the stripes don't exactly match up. You can't really see it unless I point it out, but they're just in one sock it's just about maybe half a row off. Let's just see. So as you can see on this side, it slowly kind of goes further and further, and you can see that on the other side the yellow part of the heel is a lot bigger than here, and then I evened it out, so it's not perfect, but I don't expect anyone to I don't think anyone expects hand-dyed self-striping yarn to be exactly precise. I think on a quick glance quick glance, it's quite good. The difference isn't huge, but it's something that bothered me a little bit while I was knitting. They're done. These nearly killed me. I was so done. But the recipient said that since I asked if it was okay for me to knit them socks for Christmas presents, they said yes, and the recipient of this pair said that she doesn't have knee-high socks, and that hinted heavily that that might be nice. So I complied. This is a whole skein, so 100 grams. And they're done. Thank goodness. Since I have very little time left, I started the other pair straight away. This is just this morning's knitting. I have 2 toes here. This yarn is the leftover from my Svelge sweater. So this is the dark charcoal grey brownish one, and then I'm gonna use this with it. So I'm gonna do some kind of a color work fade type, even though this is really not a fade, but you know, start slowly with this one and then it switches to this yarn completely. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing the type of fade that the foot is on this and then the leg is with this, or if I'm going to do a fade from this to this so that the heel is completely with red, and then do another fade from on the leg from this to this. I think I have something like 80 grams altogether, so it will be enough for a pair. But this is 50 grams and this is 30 plus grams, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I do kind of like the idea of having the toes and the cuffs with this, and then in between fade it in and out the red one. But I need to get a wiggle on. Thank goodness the recipient of this pair didn't have any specific requests, so she's gonna get a regular length pair. I'm hoping it shouldn't take too long, and I'm thinking about doing an afterthought heel with this. So we'll see. Then I have one last thing that I promised to do. I'm sure he'll understand if I don't get it done in time, because he will get them anyway. The last thing is I promised to sew my husband a pair of at-home pants, kind of a sweatpant type, pajama pants, sleepwear pants, thing like that. He has a pair he likes, so I'm gonna try and graft those pants onto this and then just sew it up. It's not a complicated thing, and I'm kind of hoping that if I'm savvy enough with the placement of the legs of the pants, then I might get something else out of this, because this is 2.5 meters and that seems excessive for a pair of pants. So I'm gonna try and be very kind of careful with the placement of the pieces. So yeah. But the issue right now is that today is the 20th. Like I said, it's Thursday. We're attending a funeral tomorrow, and we're leaving for Oulu, where we'll be spending the Christmas this year. We're leaving for Oulu on Saturday. So if I want this done, I really should prioritize sewing this up today.
maybe tomorrow evening as well, because pajama pants really aren't that complicated, I feel. So it shouldn't take that long to do it. I just need to start. So, yeah. I haven't even washed the fabric yet. But yeah, feeling quite screwed. And I decided that I'm gonna be doing, compiling this episode to be I'm gonna upload this after Christmas. I'm not sure if probably before New Year, hopefully, maybe, yes. But yeah, that's all I have right now. Wish me luck.
Christmas is over. It's actually almost New Year, so I decided to, as I planned to do this little video to wrap things up. Thank goodness we have a tradition of exchanging gifts after Christmas. So the two other recipients of my hand knitted socks this year, or just about any year, they're the ones that I intend to knit for. And we have a tradition of exchanging gifts after Christmas, and this year it was Boxing Day. Sorry, I'm going around in circles with my words today, but as you can see, it's quite late in the evening. But yeah, I got the last pair of socks done once again, just in time. It was the night before Boxing Day that I got them finished. It might have been more than maybe 1 a.m., 2 a.m. when I got them done. I don't even remember anymore. And I'm going to be adding some pictures right here for you to see. I decided to do 2 fades per sock, so the cuff of the sock was back with the dark yarn, and I don't have, as you would have seen by now, I don't have a picture of the pair all done, but you get the general idea of the picture, or from the picture, you know. But yeah, I already have an idea of what I might want to knit for them next year. And if I'm very smart, which I tend not to be, I'm gonna start them in the spring, because I found these patterns of the colorwork mittens that are themed after the Hogwarts houses. And as it happens, all of us, well, we're varying stages of fans. We all like the book series, and as it happens, we were all in different houses. So I just decided that it would be, because the patterns looked very nice, so I thought that it might be a good idea to make the pairs for Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Gryffindor. So that will be coming up sometime in the future. Hopefully I will be smart enough to start them, because if I do it like I did it this year, so I start at the end of November, start of December, I don't fool myself by thinking that I would get 2 pairs of colorwork mittens done in a month during all the other Christmas stuff that needs doing. But yeah, I'm really hoping that I'm going to be smarter this year. I don't expect to be. But the other thing, since we are just a little over a day away from the new year, I thought I'd talk about another thing, which is that I don't think of this as a challenge. I think of this as a goal, but I made myself a Make 9 collage, which I will add here. And I thought I might tell you what they are, not just show you pictures and knit at the same time, because this is a knitting podcast. Well, a crafting vlog, but anyways. So, from the top left, we have a lovely sweater by Susanna Winter. She's a Finnish designer. And the pattern name is Tweed is the New Black. And I'm not a big fan of tweed, but with this pattern I thought that that actually the tweed yarn would probably work really well. Not that it wouldn't work with other yarn, but I thought that that might be a good pattern to try tweed yarn. And I specifically set my heart to knitting it out of Casacara Pom Pom's Donegal Tweed, which is a fingering weight yarn, as it should be for that pattern. And the colorway is yellow, and I think it was called ochre, so ochre. So it's a yellowish base with black and white flecks of tweed. Then on the top row center, the sweater is called Achu. I hope I'm gonna get this right, even though I checked. I checked the pronunciation from the designer's Ravelry store page, and it's Juga Shark Mulligan, the designer name. She's Danish, and I love it. It's simple, but there's a little bit of texture in the top part of the back, but otherwise it's lovely and simple. I haven't set my mind on any specific yarn yet, but I've been eyeing that pattern for some time now, and yeah, I think that would be a lovely basic sweater. And I think it was made out of DK weight yarn, so it's a little bit heavier than your average fingering weight sweater. Then the top right corner is the Archer sweater. That's another one that I think I found maybe about a year ago, maybe a little bit over a year ago. And I bought the yarn for it. I don't think I've talked about it, because I don't think I've uploaded anything anytime in a while. So there was another pop-up shop at my current favorite local yarn shop in Lankapotikki Silmukka on the 15th, and I found a very interesting skein. I think I actually might go get it. Just a minute. Here it is. So the pop-up was for Korvege and Lanitium Ex Machina, both Finnish indie dyers. And I did buy another skein of Korvege maybe in the autumn of 2017, so a bit over a year ago. And that was the sour colorway, very, very bright apple green. And it was Polworth, and I made a cowl out of it, a Queenie Goldstein cowl. And this is a color that just I for the life of me I can't explain why it called out to me. This is kind of it's a very funny colorway. It's coming actually quite true to what I have in my hands on screen. So there's kind of a brownish tint, and then somehow a little bit of green, and also yellowish, and then very light places over here. So it's very interesting, but I could not get over this. This 100% superwash merino, and the colorway name is Yellow Hammer. And yeah, this is very interesting. So this is going to be the stripes on the Archer sweater. The meterage for it in the pattern seemed a little light. If I understood correctly, 3 skeins should be enough, while I think that usually you need maybe 4 skeins. I don't know. I can do short sleeves. 3/4 length sleeves are quite fine for me, so I almost prefer it to full length sleeves. So we'll see. And I have no idea what color I'm going to be pairing that with. So that's going to be interesting. But I really like that color, even though I can't explain why. Because it's, in my eyes, it's not exactly a pretty color. It's a very interesting color. But anyway, that's the top row. On the middle row left, you have Maja's Mamelukker, which is by Maja Karlsson. I just feel like I might need those. Might be useful. I might do a little bit of a longer leg on it, maybe knee length. I don't know. We'll see. And I'm probably gonna. I think the pattern was for fingering weight yarn. I'm probably gonna do it out of DK weight yarn because I have a bit of a bigger bum, and it has a rib on it, so I don't think that's gonna be a problem or an issue. I'm gonna be proven wrong. I'm quite sure that we'll see. Then on the middle row center, you have the Comfort Fate Cardi by Andrea Mowry. I'm not sure I'm going to be doing it as a fade. I'm setting myself some goals, which I'll talk about it a little bit later. Which affect why I'm probably not going to do a fade of it, but it just looks so comfy that I think that will be a nice sweater, no, not a cardi to have. Then on the middle row right, it is the Adrift Shawl by Vera Välimäki, which I actually have started already, but it's not too far along yet, so I don't think it's cheating to say that it's in my Make 9 for 2019. I've started the first texture part, and yeah, I just basically knit on it on one day. I started it on my birthday earlier this month, so yeah. On the bottom row left is the Find Your Fade, which everyone has knit by now except for me. I have a plan to make it a monochrome, so and use a very kind of a, well, my favorite at the moment out of the commercial yarns is Vilkolan Arvetta Classic, which I have been using in many projects so far, and My plan is to make it so it's either from white through grey and different shades of grey to black, or from black to white. I think that's going to be a stunner. Then on the bottom row center is my Kryptonite shawl by Melanie Berg, which I bought the yarn already. I planned this really badly because I was planning on showing you the yarn or any yarn so far, but I think me just knitting is a little bit boring, so I'm gonna go get the yarn as well. I'm going to be doing a very similar setting as it is on the photo. So I'm going to be using 2 greys. This this is the infamous dark charcoal get grey that I was supposed to use for the Svelga sweater. This is the real one. This has no brow tint. And then this kind of a mid-grey. These are going to be one part, and then the very high contrast blue. So it looks a little faded. It's a really kind of highlighter, high contrast, not quite neon yellow. I think this is going to be amazing. And it's going to be so soft. But yeah, this is going to make my Kryptonite shawl. I think this might be one of the ones that I do sooner rather than later, because I'm absolutely smitten with that yellow and the pattern. And then the last one of my make 9 on the bottom row right is another pattern by Susanna Winter, and that one is named Boomstar. I think it's quite a new pattern. I haven't seen it a lot anywhere, but I'm actually going to be doing those out of the colors that are in the picture, because I really like those colors. I did I'm doing a very slow process of going through my yarn stash, rescanning them and arranging them. You probably saw it on the last video clip that there is shelf unit behind me on it where there previously was none. So I'm arranging my yarn stash to the shelves, and I was kind of thinking that there might be another yarn that I might use, but my heart is really kind of set on those colors that are in the original picture, so we'll have to see. Then I have a few craft related goals, not resolutions by any stretch of the imagination, because there is a term in Finnish which is very descriptive to us Finns. I don't know a kind of a good word for it in English, but the Finnish word is vastarannan kiiski, which means that even if I tell myself to do something, my immediate response to it will be, no, I fucking won't. Sorry for swearing. I try to avoid it, but yeah, it's just like, you can't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me, even if it's me telling me. But so these are goals, and very kind of general goals. No, I hope it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So the first one is the make 9. It's a goal. Those are all pieces that I really like. I could have made more than 9. I could have made a few of the nine collages, but I'll start with those, and no doubt I will make more than those 9. I have no doubt. But yeah, then the main issue right now is that I want to try and avoid buying yarn. I'm thinking about maybe doing tour around my yarn stash, which I think I have mentioned before that I'm thinking about it. But there is a lot of yarn there, and I want to try and use some of those up. With the newer skeins, I think I have quite a good rotation going on. They tend not to stay in my stash for very extended periods of time. But then there's deep stash for things that I have bought many years ago, and I had possibly a project in mind, but I either changed my mind or I couldn't get the yarn anymore. I basically ran out of yarn and I couldn't get it anymore, or well, just something happened and the yarn was left in my stash. So I want to try and use as much of my stash yarn as I can. I'm not saying I will not buy yarn for a specific amount of time, because as I said, if I say that I'm not going to buy yarn, I probably will go out next week and buy a hell of a lot of yarn. And then the other thing is that I want to try and get into the habit of having a lot less whips. By my best estimation, I have 8 whips at the moment, and at the beginning of, I think, December or in November, I probably haven't had more than 12. So I have either finished the things or I have frogged them completely to be done at a later date or something. And I'm gonna try and have maybe one type of whip per. Well, I have tried to have one type of item per whip, so I would have no more than one sock whip and no more than one sweater whip and no more than one shawl whip. And otherwise I think I'm quite good, except that I have 4 sweater whips at the moment. I have Boxy, which there's gonna be a video maybe at the beginning of the year, maybe. Then I have the Lakeland cardigan ongoing. I think that's in quite a good stage, but I haven't picked it up for a while. Then I have the little bird cardigan, which actually the body of it is done. I might need to do the hem of it again, or the bind off at least. I feel like that might not be a good hem, but I think I might block it at this stage because there's no needles attached to it, so there's basically the sleeves to be done for now. So the body of the sweater is done, and then the sleeves need to be knitted, but I think this might be a good time to block it and see what happens with that and the hem and the length and all of that. And what's the 4th? Our 4th sweater. What is it? Let me just see. Oh yeah, I'm knitting the poet's sweater by Sari Norlund. Yeah. So it might be a while before I start with the top row of the Make 9 collage. But yeah, I think that's about it. This is going to be a longer video because there is a few clips of the Christmas knitting stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna be uploading this on New Year's Eve. If you happen to catch it on New Year's Eve, I hope you have a lovely New Year's celebration. If you have anything planned, even if your plan is staying home, enjoying your New Year's from home, doing whatever it is you please, which is what I'm gonna be doing. We're not going anywhere. We're gonna be staying home as we have for, I think, just about every year since I've lived in Tampere. So for 10 years, I don't remember being. We tend to stay home, and as is more likely, if you're catching this after New Year's, I hope you've had as lovely of a New Year as is humanly possible. I hope that 2018 was a good year for you. Whether it was or if it wasn't, I hope that 2019 will be even better. I certainly hope many good things for the coming year. But however it goes, I want to thank you for the past year, and I really hope you have a very good time crafting. I hope the projects you've made have been just absolutely lovely, and I hope that things you have planned for next year are giving you joy and happiness. So, Happy New Year, and until I see you next time, happy crafting. Bye.